Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Sharon, and here at Sharon Plans, I primarily post videos related to planning and budgeting. So if that's something that you're into, I hope you'll consider sticking around. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and thank you for stopping by, and I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button down below and joining me as I post future videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to check out another one of my videos. So today's video is going to be a 2-for. So today's video is going to cover my week 4 check-in for the month of October, as well as my October budget results. So we got a lot to cover in this video, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So I've already taken the liberty of laying down my expense tracking stickers just for the sake of time. So we'll go ahead and start adding those up. I'll explain my categories and then we'll get right into it. Okay, so this is just my legend that I keep that basically identifies the colors that I use for each of my categories. So I do combine categories for the sake of space. So the blue is for my allowance and grooming cash envelope. Green is for eating out and groceries. The yellow is for gas. This lavender is for other, and the red is for unbudgeted. So I'm just gonna pull this out and set this to the side. So I will be using my micro happy notes to guide me along the way. And yes, guys, I do have a red pen out because I am over budget in a few categories, I believe, and yeah, in a few categories. So, okay, my first category I'm gonna be checking in for is my personal. And so for week 4, I've only had one personal expense, and that was for Starbucks for $42. Yes, I'm a bit of a coffee junkie, so I have been spending money on Starbucks amongst other things. So $42 for Starbucks, so let's just get that down. And that's $42. And so from last week, I was rolling over $81 total between my grooming and my allowance cash envelope. So that's 81 minus 42. So that leaves me $39. Okay, and so for my allowance cash envelope, here's that. I have a total of $11 remaining, and I will not be rolling this over into next month. So I'm gonna set this to the side, and I'm also gonna put this to the side because this I'm gonna add to the envelope that I created last month for any funds for my cash envelopes rollover. I'm just gonna put it all into that envelope. So I'm gonna set this to the side, and then I have my grooming cash envelope. And that has a total of 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for a total of $39. And so I am going to roll this over into next month because I like to build up my cash envelope so that I have enough money to pay for my hair service when I get it done about every 8 to 9 weeks. So moving on to my groceries and eating out, and this is where the damage has been done. Okay, so let's add it up. So Brooms Boom, I went to Brooms Boom, and that was $70. Let me just tell you, they have the bomb macaroni and cheese. I need to stop going there, but when I go, I always get extras because the day after, we always wish that we had more. So now that the kids are turned on to it, it's like, when you go, you just have to get enough. So guilty pleasure, but I indulged. So that was $70. And then Rite Aid, I believe I picked up a prescription and my son wanted chips or something. So I just added that out of my grocery budget. And then I went to Walmart on the 30th. So that was $53. And then I went to Costco on the 31st, and that was $156. For a total of $285 that I spent. And let me just give you the rationale behind why I went this much over budget. So, well, let's just add it up and then I'll give you my rationale. So for this week, that was $285. And then last week, I was coming into week 4 with $91. And then minus 285, so I am $194 over budget. Okay, so let me explain. I was out and we made the decision that we are no longer going to travel for Thanksgiving. So we made that decision because the COVID numbers are just kind of going up, and my husband and I, we discussed it and we just decided it's just better that we just stay home. It's just safer and for everybody if we just stay home. So while I was out, I noticed that everything was out for like Thanksgiving kind of food and everything. So I just said, let me just start picking up some of this stuff, especially the items that I know sell out fairly quick. So I said, let me just start getting these items, kind of put them away, you know, just start getting them gradually so that I'm not in the store with a whole bunch of people trying to, you know, grab these items over the next 2 weeks. So that was my rationale. So I just said, let me go over budget now, and then next month, what I will do is probably decrease the budget a little, because I already decided that I was going to have a separate set of funds set aside just for Thanksgiving dinner now that I know that we're going to stay home. So I said, let me just start picking these items up now. So I'm not going to say that all of it was Thanksgiving, but some of it definitely was. So I just said, let me just pick these up now and, you know, try to get ahead of the situation, because I'm starting to see that when I go to Costco, there's signs up saying stuff is out again at the front. So I think that people are anticipating shutdowns and things like that. So I think they're just trying to grab everything. And I could see a lot of people were kind of doing the same thing that I was doing. So that was the rationale behind that. Okay, so I will move on now. So flipping back, I did have a gas expense this week, and that was for $62. So that was $62, and rolling over from last week, I had my total of $149 minus 62, so I have $87 remaining. And then for unbudgeted, okay, this one was unnecessary as well, guys. So for unbudgeted, I had a total of $141. The reason is my car had to go to the shop, and I was not aware that I needed a 60,000 mile service. So when my husband took the car, when he came back, he told me what the price was, and I was like, oh, I don't have that much in my cash envelope. So I had to wind up taking the additional $141 out of savings. So since it wasn't planned, I added the $141 under unbudgeted. For unbudgeted, I had $141, but like I said, it was a necessary expense. I had to get it done. So I will be working to beef my auto maintenance sinking fund up as we move forward. And so I got ahead of myself, but I'm $194 over budget. So you know my eating out envelope is empty, as well as my grocery envelope empty. I didn't show those, but I wanted to. And my gas, I do not take out of the bank. So this $87 is in my account, and I will roll that over into next month. And like I stated, the $141 I just pulled out of savings to cover that. I did have a few expenses out of my sinking funds, which I listed here as well. And that was medical. I am having an issue with one of my crowns. So I had to go and buy some ibuprofen. So I took that out of my sinking funds. And then I had, like I stated, the auto maintenance. I had $383 left in my auto maintenance sinking fund. So I had to take that out as well. And then for clothes, I spent $22 just buying like gloves and I think socks while I was at Costco. So I took that out of my clothes sinking fund. So I'm just going to go ahead and check off everything that I weekly checked in for. So that was the gas, medical, because I'm about to close out my sinking fund. So I'll just go ahead and check these off as well. And then my life insurance did come out, so I'm checking that off as well. So let me just go back and tally everything up. My total spent for personal for this month was $461, and I spent a whopping $994 between groceries and eating out, which is crazy. For gas, I spent $62, and unbudgeted, I spent a total of $141. And so my remaining is $39. I am over by $194. And then my remaining for gas is $87. And my unbudgeted, I am over $141. So that's what it looks like, guys, ending up for my week, my 4th week check-in. And these are my results. So I'm not totally mad because there's things that I definitely needed to have done. But like I always say, next month is another month to try to do a better job and get it right. So that's what I plan to do. Now what I'm going to do is choose my number for week number 44 for my 52-week savings challenge. Okay, so here's my tracker that I'm currently using for my 52-week savings challenge, and I keep all my numbers in this mason jar. So I'm just gonna give it a quick shake, and I'm gonna pick for week 44. So here we go. So week 44 is $42. And as I had previously mentioned, that I was going to pick additional numbers so that I can use all of the funds. But what I decided to do is, because the numbers are so random and I have no real way of knowing how I can spend the entire amount by choosing random numbers, I'm just going to roll the difference that I don't use from this month over to next month, and I'm just gonna fully fund November and December's contributions in November so I can just close it out. That's just what I decided to do when I was thinking about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight number 44. And then I'm gonna go to the front and I'm gonna write, is it 40? You know what, I highlighted 44 and I should have highlighted 42. But it's okay, because this is the last month, so I'll be closing it out anyway. So I'm highlighting 42, getting ahead of myself. Okay. Okay, so here's my tracker. And for week 44, I had 42. So for this month, I have a total of 35 plus 12 plus 18 plus 22 plus 42. So that's a total of $129. So what I decided is, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll the money forward, and then I'm just gonna fund the entire amount for all of the remaining weeks in my November budget. So this was $129 for this month. And then rolling over from last month, I had $967. So 967 plus 129, and that's $1,096. Okay, so now that we have that done, before I flip to the front, I just want to show you, this is the shadow box that I keep my 52-week savings challenge funds in. And I'm going to go ahead and put my $129 in before I move forward with closing out the budget. So here's where we stood last month prior to when we ended in September. So here is 100, 200, 300, 4, 50, 5, 50, 6, 50, 7, 50, 8, 50, 9, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's my $967 that we rolled over from the month of September. And then today I'm going to be putting in 50, 100, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we now have a total of $1,096. Okay, and so now we're gonna move forward with closing out the budget. Okay, so here's my monthly budget. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling in my actuals and my differences. So for allowance, I actually spent a total of $89. So that's a difference of $11. For beauty, I actually spent $58, which is a difference of $2. And so for my beauty envelope, I do keep a cash envelope. There is $2 remaining, so I'm going to roll that over into my cash envelope, rollover envelope as well. And then next I have eating out, which you know I have no funds remaining. And then groceries, I spent a total of $794. And so that is a negative difference of $194. For grooming, I spent a total of $372. A difference of $28. Household, I spent $166, which is also a negative 66. But for my household, I do have a separate account which I put money in every month, so I'm able to take the $66 out of that account. But it still wasn't budgeted, so it's still over, so I counted it as over. For gas, I spent $62. And so that's a rollover of $87, which I will be transferring over for the month of November. My kids, they spent $20. And so they still had 20 left. And I do keep an envelope for that. So this 20, I'm going to be rolling over into my cash envelope rollover as well. And then for my 52 week, I saved $129, and so I am going to be rolling over the $56 to help cover the remaining weeks. And then variable, I spent a lot of money too. I spent a total of $278, and I bought a couple of things like just for my recording room and stuff like that. So I did pull this extra out of savings as well, but this was a total of $248 over. And then, as we just discussed, my unbudgeted is a total of $141. Fix this. Okay, so $141, and that is all overage. $141. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, it was an eventful month. I guess you can see by my numbers. So, we're going to just go ahead and tally this thing up. And let's just see where we stand. Okay, so for my actuals, that's 89, 58, 200, 794, 372, 166, 62, 20, 29, 278, 141. So that's a total of $2,309. So yeah, that's a lot. $2,309. And so my difference is, I'm going to just add up all the positive and then I'll subtract the negative numbers. So that's 11, 2, 28, 87, 20, 56, and then minus 194, 66, 248, 141. So that's a whopping $445 over budget. $445, and that's a lot. And I gotta get my life in order because this is too much. Okay, so now I am going to, oh, and let me fill in this extra savings because there are going to be none, because I have spent the money in other places. So I will not be adding anything extra to my $100,000 savings challenge this go round. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tally this up as well. So this is 200, 240, 61, 200, 49, 925, 10, 770, 185, and 464. So that's $3,104. Okay, and then just to total everything up on the bottom, I do income minus variable, and then minus fixed. And so my variable was budgeted at $1,864, and I actually spent $2,309, and then my fixed was budgeted at $3,104. Is that right? And my actual is $3,104. And so I'll complete the rest of this after I complete the video and total everything up and see how much of a deficit I actually did to my budget for this month. But your budget is a process and a journey, so next month is another chance for me to get this right or do a better job. So now I'm going to move to the last portion of this video, which is going to be closing out my sinking fund. Okay, here's my sinking fund spread. So I already have my transactions written down in my log portion of my layout. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling everything in on the top so I can close them out for the week of. I'm gonna start filling everything out on the top so I can close my sinking funds out for the month of October. So for my Amex renewal, I did not spend anything. For auto maintenance, as we previously discussed, I spent a total of $524, but I took all of the remaining funds out of my sinking fund. So I had $33 beginning, I added 50, and I used all of it. So I used the entire $383. So that left me with $0. And for my Amex renewal, I rolled over $240. For my Bali trip, I did add $200 and I didn't have any expenses. So my ending balance was $400. For Campbell Day, I didn't spend anything, and so I'm rolling over $50. For childcare, I had no expenses, so I am rolling over $420. For Christmas, I haven't yet spent anything, so I'm rolling over $1,700. For clothes, I did spend $22, so rolling over $78. For my Costco renewal, I didn't spend anything, so I'm rolling over the $120. For gifts, I had 100, I added 100, but I did spend 130, and so I'm moving into next month with a total of $70. For medical, I did spend $10. And so rolling over into next month, I have $348. For school, I did not spend anything. So I'm rolling over the entire $100. For trash, I didn't write that below, but for trash, on the 22nd, I did pay my quarterly bill, which was $93. Okay, and so for trash, I spent $93, so I am rolling over a total of $62. For vacation, I didn't spend anything, and so I am rolling over the entire $600. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tally this up. And so I spent 383 plus 22 plus 130 plus 10 plus 93. So I spent a total of $638 out of my sinking funds for the month of October. And rolling over, so let's just, rolling over is 240, 400, 50, 420, 1700, 78, 120, 70, 348, 100, 62, and 600. So I am rolling over into next month a total of $4,188. Just to make sure my math is correct, I started out with $39.01. I added $9.25, and then I spent $638, and my remainder is $4,188. So we are on track. Moving into next month, so this is what my sinking funds look like closed out for the month of October. And I'm very grateful that I started this, because although I feel like I don't want to spend money out of it every month, but I am happy that I do have the funds to do so. Okay, so again, this is how my budget looks ending up for this month. And like I said, next month is just another opportunity to do a better job, and I will. So I hope everyone is staying safe and doing well. And like I said in the beginning, if you like the content, please consider subscribing and coming back to join me for future videos. As I always say, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.